Let's see how it's going. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunset Stitches. My name is Trevor, and this is Digi-Talk number 09. And so I want to say hi to everybody that's tuning in live. There was a message about Facebook today, so I'm interested to see if anybody's going to make comments specifically from Facebook. But it's great to see you guys. Hi, Lily. How's it going today? And hey, Candy. How's it going? Joyce. And yeah, so Nick, everybody, it looks like everybody that's coming in here is coming in through YouTube today. I think there potentially is some kind of problem with Facebook. Apparently they changed the deal, and I probably need to like reset up the event or good. There's a comment. It's all working good. Thank you, Virginia. Nice to see you today. Okay, guys, so that's great news. Anyway, this is Digi-Talk, and that is a live presentation where I like to digitize and just interact a little bit with the people that drop in live. I'm usually working on Winnie the Pooh designs, and that is my latest Winnie the Pooh design. Isn't that one cute? Cute. Good morning, everybody that's just tuning in. I can see you guys coming in, Denise and Debbie, and that's upside down, Trevor. By the way, I want to say thank you to my son Nicholas Conquer Good, who is with me in the house today, just over here, helping me man the controls. Thank you, Nick. And so just know that it's Trevor and Nick, and we're here at Sunset Stitches, and these are the latest in a series of designs. Last night, Loren came and was visiting me down here at Sunset Stitches, and she said, "What's this design with an elephant?" And I said, "Oh, I feel like I failed you as a parent." That's a heffalump, Loren. Not and that's Piglet in their bed. Isn't that cute? Anyway, why did they not know that was the heffalump and not an elephant? Maybe because they couldn't really recognize Piglet. But I mean, the table was kind of covered with all the other little Winnie the Pooh designs. That these are over the last 9 sessions. We've done like a whole series of small ones like this, as well as a few of the bigger ones. And I've been working on a nice big one here for you guys for what seems like the last several weeks. So we'll probably work on that a little bit today as well. Yeah. Before I go full screen and show my software, I wanted to show you guys a couple designs from class this week. That one there, we were learning how to do a cool kind of border trick with that, and that is such an easy thing to do. Anyway, the topic for this month is fireworks, and these are some designs that I did as kind of like inspiration for everybody that's coming to class to do their own firework designs. But if you're a member of FTCU Workshop 4 and you haven't seen this week's class yet, I haven't posted the download yet. We just recorded it yesterday, and so I hope to have that done by the end of today. But we'll see. I'm working on it, so I'll have when I get it up there. I get it up there. That's the deal. So yeah, nice to see everybody. Hey Sharon, how's it going today in northern Idaho? Not far from Canada, hey, we were working on specialty stitches in the Workshop 3 members retreat that's going on in June. And we've been having all kinds of fun with creating our own specialty stitches. And so if you're a member of Workshop 3 and you missed that class, it's now available in the download area for Workshop 3. And generally the message I like to give for everybody is, if you have ever joined my classes, but you're not on my website, you need to join my website with a free membership. there's a couple options that are free. And then send me an email so that I can give you access to your classes. This was the new chain stitch that we worked on in class last week it's workshop 3. We called it the specialty stitches retreat, and we got 2 or 3 classes where we're focusing in on special types of stitches like this, doing unique things. Okay, so if you come to my classes, you'll have a ton of fun, I promise. If you want to join my class for new, I recommend the workshop number 4, because that is the current workshop where we have a new challenge every month. So when I'm talking about the fireworks, that's what I'm talking about workshop 4. If you want to join, you can use the discount code Trevor99. And that'll get you in for $99.97. And essentially, you'll be able to log in on my website and get access to all of the different stuff, which includes the Digi-Talk designs, and the font archive for all the fonts. And so these are the most recent Digi-Talk designs, the cute little Winnie the Pooh ones, and then Piglet with the Heffalump. But if you have been following along, then you'll notice if you look in your library, I've made a new section called Digi-Talk, and so this is what I'm saying is these are this week's designs. But if I look backwards in number 8, well, there's there's Pooh and his Heffalump. But if I go all the way back to number 1, then there's the cute one like this with Christopher Robin coming down the stairs. So that's awesome. Hey, does my screen look a little different today, Nick? Few less buttons. Hey, that's what's different about it, is there's a few less buttons on there. Let's go ahead and bring me my screen bigger, Nick, and make me smaller. Yeah, that's perfect. Later today, I'm going to be going live on a special presentation for the SMP Hoop Fest. And maybe I'll try and find the link and share it with you guys. After, when I get done here, I'll find that link and post it to the YouTube and the Facebook comments. But the point is, I'm presenting on Fusion. And so to avoid any confusion, I reopened my software only with the tools of the program called Fusion. Now, if you're like, what the heck are you talking about, Trevor? If I go onto the website, this is the RNK Software Club website. I just want to point out that every one of these little ribbons is one of the programs that people could have purchased. And Total Control U is kind of the Cadillac of embroidery, for embroidery. If you're a Floriani person, that's the deluxe. But we also have Total Quilter. It's another program. Sketch-a-Stitch, another program. Lettering Master, another program. Fusion, Creative Express, My Design Album, Design and Quilt, Embellish Maker. These are all programs that people own. And when you go on the website, it kind of supports them all. If I click on Fusion, now the website's all about Fusion. And there are training videos for Fusion. There's the Fusion user manual. There's some bonus files for it. You can get to see the RNK weekly videos from here. And Fusion is our Floriani embroidery software that comes bundled in some of our special new machine owner bundles. And it's a really awesome program that includes all of the tools that are on my screen now. So if you own Floriani FTCU, then you have all of this and more. Okay, so this is less than FTCU, but this is a great starting point. It has so many awesome tools. It's got your auto digitizing tool and your magic wand tool. It's got your nap control tool. Of course, it has the text tools and the ability to do all the different kinds of text. It also has all kinds of different, digitizing tools, artwork, design manipulation. So it doesn't have as many things as FTCU, but if you started here, this would be pretty amazing, And so I'm going to be presenting on this later today. And if you guys want to come check it out, I'll be kind of highlighting all the highlights of it. For today, what I thought I would do is just go ahead and go to today's folder, or, let's see, that's not the right place. Desktop. I wanted to go in documents, not downloads, and into my Digi-Talk, where we have, I've got a folder with all the artwork for Winnie the Pooh, and this is where the 100-Acre Woods is that I've been working on, for a while. And so we could go ahead and work on this a little bit more. I can, just because I don't have my full toolbox open doesn't mean I have the tools that I want to work on this design. And so I can totally keep working on this today. So we're going to work on the design in a minute. You guys are welcome to ask questions, when you stop in to visit me live. That is kind of an opportunity that I'm happy sometimes to take a little, diversion, ask a question. So don't be shy if you want to. Don't mind me. I need a sip of my water. So, but before I did my digitizing, I wanted to show off the changes to the RNK Software Club website. Because if you didn't hear, there was a change that happened over the night. So today would be the first day that it's live. And what it's about is the training video, the videos. It's our video. The way that we display our videos has been updated. So notice that when I clicked on the video library for Fusion, it now looks like this. And I think the cool thing here is there's a search, capability that you can search. It still has the playlists. See how I can click on creating and see the creating videos, text and lettering, editing, how to, and sometimes there'll be, some of our playlists are very large. And here you've got like 2 pages. So I can see page 2 or page 1. And I could click in here to search. If I wanted to know what more about this video, if I hover over, it says photo play. This tool creates a JPEG image. This one, and they have the titles are at the top. See, it says how to move your arcade software. This one right here, when I'm not on it, you can see the title at the top of the icon, plus a little bit of a graphic. Kind of shows you what it might be about. But then if you put your mouse over top, it'll tell you. You can read the details of that. What's that video about? And if you decide you want to watch it, and when you click on it, you get an actual pop-up player that you can play it. There's the details of what it's going to be about. If you need to share it with your friends, you can click the share button. When you're done, you can just close that and keep sort of searching. Up at the top here, you've got the button to go back to the Fusion sort of menu, or right back to the home menu. If you're done with Fusion and you want to go back to home, you click here, and now you could go into a different area, right? And you could go into the Total Control U area. And in here, there's several different sort of libraries. You've got your training videos, you've got your past build archives. You also have the, what am I trying to say here? Down here, embroidery webinars, and over here in the gray, the featured weekly videos. These are all different curated lists. If you go on training videos, there's sub lists, right? This is the how-to list, and this is a lettering and text list. Well, when you're on lettering and text, it'll only search this group. If I search applique in here, then it'll only be applique as it relates to lettering and text, if it's in this group. But if I go on how to and I search applique, and you have to click the little search icon, or you can hit enter on your keyboard, I get a different list, and if I go back to the Floriani sort of area and I go on the weekly videos, this is probably the biggest list, because every week there's a new video and they just simply go backwards in time. This is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, I haven't actually calculated how many pages there are, but there's coming near to 500 videos in this playlist. And so, here's page 20. And, but the cool thing is now you can come in here and search applique and hit enter, and it'll bring you, 2 pages of videos that are all about the topic of applique. And so there might be just the perfect one. And this is going to be great for everybody that wants to find a video, because you can easily search through the different lists. So just know that they're different lists, and you do still have to search the different lists. One of the lists that I think often gets overlooked is under the, you can actually get to it from any of the programs. It's the current build, what's new. If I click on that, notice, oh, here, this is not, I want to go back to the Explore page. Past builds video archive. That's what I wanted to go on. So this will be a text description of what's new, but this one here, past builds video archive, it'll show you these are the most recent changes to the software from build 3893. Here's build 3857, and I can see that when I hover over it, says, which build it's from. And you can almost like scroll backwards in time. Each one of these is a video that was when a new tool was being introduced, how that tool works. So, and this is a totally different set of videos that are different from the weekly videos. So interesting. There's lots of different lists, and I don't know how many videos there are total in our RNK Software Club website, but you guys, it's a lot. When you come in here to remember, this is the build updates. Notice that I can go to the Sketch-a-Stitch updates, or the Total Quilter updates, and see the same concept. So they're kind of broken down into the different programs, and the videos that were kind of as those builds were released. So if I go back to the RNK, it takes me right back to the home page again. And so that's the highlights. Is anybody asking any questions about that? Going too fast on the latest? Slow down. Okay. So sorry. I get excited. I do go too fast. Let me click on.
You said going too fast is the latest on the top.
Oh, so yes, like if I go to the featured weekly videos, this is last week's, and the week before, and the week before. And if I go into any of those playlists, like for example, the past builds video archive, the newest ones are at the top, and the next time that new ones come out, they will go in front of these. So I don't know if remembering what page a video is on will help you, because if we add new designs to the front, then that page number might change. But if you want to record the links to the videos, then when you have one open like this share button will allow you to record, capture the actual link to the video itself. Just say copy link, and now you could put it in an email or a Word document or whatever you want. Here you can post it to your Facebook or various places like that. So if you're finding a video is awesome and you're just like, I want to share that on my Facebook, just come here, click share, click Facebook, and there you go. But other than that, you might, if you're like, I want to remember this one again, then just knowing what it was about should be enough to find it. You'll be able to search them. Yeah. Any other questions or comments, Nick?
Excellent.
Thank you. Okay, so great news on the RNK Software Club. Hey?
Sandy?
Yeah, Sandy. Yeah.
Sandy said she got her postcard.
That is nice. I'm so glad you got a postcard from me. All right, you guys. So I was working on this design, and I've been kind of filling in the parts that were missing. I decided that I didn't want any jumps other than to get to like the words, right? And so it was gonna be all the kind of interior lines were gonna get connected together, and then at the end I was gonna jump and do poo, and jump and do bears, and jump and do house, jump over, do 6 pines, trees, poos, trap, 4 heffalumps, and all that kind of stuff. Those will be the jumps, because I don't want them to be connected. I guess I could have tried to connect all these things, but it kind of gets to be distracting when they're words, if they're connected. But I do try to minimize the jumps is what I'm trying to say. So I've been working on the other parts and what have I missed? And there's a part here that was like, I haven't done it yet because it didn't really kind of connect in. I didn't want to connect through the word Eeyore's gloomy pace. So I hadn't really figured out where I was going to connect it yet, because so far everything came from the middle, and I've kind of been able to just find, my way around, but I feel like over here was a spot that it was missing. And then, maybe up at the top too, like there's, there could be like a set of trees and some trees, and it almost looks like there's a path that kind of comes through here to the sandy pit and Rue's house. And I remember feeling like I wish my picture was just a little bit better. I didn't search real hard for a great image of the book. And so when you zoom in really close, it's missing kind of some of the great details. And I'm doing a pretty good job of filling them in, I think. But sometimes I wonder if I'm missing anything, like if there was supposed to be another trail that's just so faint I can't see it. Because it's not that it's super important, but I'm trying to do a really good job of making this all match. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is I feel like I've hooked up all the parts that are connected, unless there was some way to get from here to there. But I can go around the outside. That was the other. I haven't used the border, because if I use the border, well, then I guess I can get this parse. And if I walk along the border, I can catch all this stuff kind of up here. And so, I probably could add. It feels like the frame is part of it. At first I wasn't sure if I needed to do an outline. But what I'm saying is if I don't, it kind of feels like it's missing something. Wouldn't you agree? So I'm going to add it, is what I'm saying. So once I add that, then it's easy to catch this part, because see, what I can do is I can walk my way along the outline and stop here and get all this little bit, and then walk along the outline a little longer. And if there's any other parts that I think I missed, like up here, I can stop there too. So it won't just be like a box around the outline. It'll be a series of pieces. So the question is, where have I left off? And I'm pretty sure the last parts of this is like Eeyore. And that's these are all words that are jumps. Remember, all the words were going to be jumps. So really, the last piece that I did that's not a jump was back here. We did because that's the first of the words. So here, let's color that. From there down to there, the jumps are going to be a different color than the connected parts. So that kind of lets me know. Jump, 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 jump. Connected red. The red is what's connected. And the red, if I hide that part there, the red, the last piece of it was right here. I can tell that I'd finished, that's where I finished off. So that's kind of like finishing in a dead end, right? That doesn't connect to the border. That's not going to help me. So, I started this design off and, sort of like around Piglet's house there. And I started my working my way around, maybe right there. Look at that. Can you see that spot right? Oh, right there. I touched the border. Can you see the spot right there? That's the spot. I could use that as like a gateway, or I've already kind of walked along it down here. I remember, getting a little further along and then saying, well, I'm probably going to put a border in here anyway. So why don't I just walk along it, and get to the next thing. So I think the point that I'm trying to make is I'm trying to decide where to go to add the border. We've got done what we've got done. I can't add it on at the end. It's sitting here. I need to insert what I'm saying. I want to put a border in all these parts. So where it's not a right or wrong, I could put them in right at the beginning, like right there. It could be like it got that far. And then instead of going down and doing the floody place, it could go around the outside, hit this, hit that, and then keep going. So I'm going to insert. I'm just trying to decide where to insert. And there's no right or wrong. I could insert right there. I could get right to that spot right before I head up the river. I could stop right there and be like, why don't I go all the way around?
Put on your yellow cursor, Dad.
And then, hey, good one, Nick. Put on my yellow cursor, Dad, he says. Thank you. There you go. That helps to follow my cursor a lot, doesn't it, when I'm talking? Thanks, Nick. So I'm just kind of going to watch it for a minute. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I got two here and here are my first two options. Or I keep sewing for a while. Doodly-doo. And I guess I could hit it there, right? Because I get right down to that spot right there. Kind of also reaches the bottom. I could add it there. I also get over to the edge on by Christopher Robin's house, right there. See that spot. So there's no right or wrong. Where, when do you want to add it, kind of thing. And then finally, I guess it could be added up there because I touch right there. So I don't know. You got a preference, Nick? You can decide.
I don't think so.
He doesn't care. All right. So let's just make a decision then. Let's do it right there. So the first time I hit the border is, that's got some logic to it, right? So I'm just going to go right to there. That's, I think, because the next stitch is like heading back again. So there, that's where I want to add a bunch of new stuff. But that right now, if you look at that point, if I was to like use my select tool, is part of this piece. It actually starts, interestingly enough, right there. And so I'm going to basically make it walk along to here, and I'm going to split it again, is what I'm going to do. So we're going to go to that point right there, right click, and ask it to split the line. That's one way of doing it, splitting the line. Or the other way would be to insert a stop, but I like split line. So now I have a stop right there. See, and that's number 3. So there's number 1. I did the tree. Number 2, a little bit more. And then number 3 was that little bit. So, okay, awkward, but it doesn't matter when you stitch it out. It's not like you notice that I've made a piece there. It's connected. Those pieces are between me and my WAF file. Nobody sees that when they stitch it out on their machine. But now that I know that I got a spot right there, I can use that spot to hook up, and I'm going to use this internal line. So I'm going to click number 2 on my keyboard, which will give me the, it didn't work. Okay. Apparently number 2 on the keyboard does not actually activate when you're in Fusion, only in FTCU. Interesting. So that means I need to do it myself, basically, is what it means. And it looks like I have auto scroll turned on. So did you see that? It kind of comes down. And here, okay, so there's a bit of a graphic on there. I'm just kind of using my cursor to figure out where to stop, because see, I got the red line on the other side. So pretty much right there, maybe there, and click. And then I can come along this side, and you can just hold it and it'll nudge over. But that's an option that I turned on. You may not have that option turned on. And so if you didn't, and here, while I'm at it here, I kind of like that little, see what I did there with that little bit? I kind of like that. I think I'm going to stop, and I'm just going to go in here and do a little bit of a jig. I don't know. I'm trying to make a little bit more marshy, or what is that? It's just part of the ground. Anyway, so a few extra little clicks to kind of enhance that area a little bit. All right. And so we're moving along, and I'm just staying zoomed in. You could put in any more of them if you want to. If you're like, oh, I feel like they could use a couple in here too. I just naturally kind of go out and walk back along the line. These are not rules, per se. You do it how you want to. But okay, so now I'm getting around to the corner here. Maybe I'll do the same thing here. Let's do a little bit of a zigzag kind of. All right, and I don't know what I'm actually drawing anymore. I'm just like throwing in a few lines to make it not be totally empty. I'm going to get to there and stop for a sec there so we can kind of see what I did. I walked, over there, and now I'm here. And so, yeah, this is what I love about digitizing these little designs, because I can take my time and I can click and see what it looks like. And if you're like, I don't like that, I can undo or whatever, and just, so this is really old fashioned click, click, click style digitizing. And I'm using the Floriani Fusion software to do it instead of the FTC like I normally do. But as you can see, it works just fine, right? Doesn't matter. This basic tool, the click, click, click tool, is part of the Fusion program as well as the FTC, is what I'm saying. So yeah. See how I kind of walk out and walk back? That's what we call the 2-ply run stitch, right? I can right click and stop at any time. So I started here, I walked out, and then I walked back again. By using the 2 plies, it enables me to, and not get stuck in a corner where because if you try to do it all 1 ply and you walked out to the very end of this line, then you'd have to, I guess you could cut the corner and walk back the other way. And that's totally fine. If you want to do some section as a 1 ply, you can. And I think that's kind of what is cool about it, is that I could decide if one area was going to be done 4 plies, one area was going to be 3, one area might become, just a single. And so here's an example of it, is rather than following that line back, I could kind of take a slightly different line back. And so then when we're done, this area here is a single, double, 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 but then back here, single. So it kind of creates a bit of a widening in the line. Anyway, there's really no right or wrong to any of this stuff. But except for when I zoom out and I look at it, I don't like it. I'm like, oh, well, that you may have proved your point that you can do it, but now you decided you didn't want to. So you just bring your points back. I can right click, add another point, whatever I need, to kind of make it be a straight line again and not 2 lines. So yeah. So now, what I don't have turned on that I like to use is, I know I don't have it turned on because I don't have Sketch-a-Stitch turned on. When you, what did I just say? I like to put that black dot on my screen. I've often talked about it, but Fusion doesn't include it. So it's not the end of the world. I just have to remember where I stopped, whereas the black dot kind of helps me see it. If I'm not sure, I can just select the last thing I made and then click on the shape tool. There, the red, that's where that's where I am. Now I know where to keep going. And so if I don't want to create a jump, I just start kind of exactly where I finished off. So I click my run stitch tool and I walk up to here. And so now a little footpath. Remember before with the footpaths, I was just kind of like walking my way out, but every once in a while I was putting in a little extra kind of jig in it to get it to look a little bit less sort of smooth and a little bit more sort of footpathy, if that's even a word, but you know what I mean. So these are the little steps, I guess. Yeah. Now I'm going to follow right back down the line again. And it's not wrong to add, footsteps on the other way too, right? If you're like, they didn't put enough in or something, that's fine. Yeah, so, it just kind of, rather than a very smooth line, I felt like those little steps back and forth kind of gave it the look of a path. It's hard to say for sure, but so now we're here and we can just click to keep going and probably hit all the way up to this corner right here. Everything's kind of done. I don't need to connect to any of these other parts. All the text is going to be done at the end. I decided not to put B's in there. It's just too darn small. Maybe I'll put in a couple jumped in B. I don't know. We'll see about that. I have to return to this area, but I am going to stop up here and take a look at a nice place for picnics. And it kind of felt like that tree right there could easily have touched the border, and I could start right there and just come on in and do like a canopy for the top of this tree. And I'm noticing right now that I'm 400%. And every time I click and I pull my mouse, I take notice of how far of a stitch I'm making, because I think that matters. It matters to me in terms of, I don't want to make them too small, I think is what I'm trying to say. And so by, every time you click, it's got the little tool tip that kind of pulls off. And really what I want to do is make sure that they're at least 1 millimeter long, because anything that's kind of smaller than 1 millimeter tends to not sew really well. So I don't know, I'm just trying to make like what might be a tree or a group of trees here. And also kind of like looks like what it was. I don't know if that really looks good or not, but so we can kind of do a few rocks. Now here's where a 1-ply might be appropriate, right? Go around the rock in a single, around the rock in a single, like that. Because if I go, if I try and do little details like this and I go around them 2 or 3 times, I think what ends up happening is you just end up with a blob. It's too heavy and you can't really see the details. And so in this case, I'll return along the line, but a lot of those rocks were just gone around as a single ply of thread, and that's just perfect. So yeah. I don't know. You kind of have to just be a little bit fearless with your marks at times, because I think the risk is people want to zoom in like really close and click like 1 million times to try and really follow these lines. But those are not reasonable stitch lengths. Like I said, you need to get at least 1 millimeter. When I click this, 1 millimeter is that far. That should be your minimum amount. And if 1 was the minimum, I would say 1.3 and 1.5 are better, right? So when I click from here, there's 1.6, and I can, create some of, I guess, trying to decide what am I drawing here, first of all, before I keep going. It looks like rocks, right? It was like, I think that's kind of what this is, and so backspacing kind of out of it. So we came from here. Let's go around the outside and do something like that. And then, so really, we get to kind of make it up a little bit when you're doing stuff like this, and there's no real correct anything. It's so small. I'm zoomed in 800%. They're rocks in a bigger picture, why fuss over the points? Just get them in there, right? And get going. So here's where maybe there is a little bit of a footpath that I'll try and catch. And I don't even want to go looking for better artwork. At this point, I'm so committed to finishing the one. I worked with what I had, told them I'm not going back now. Most of the pictures have actually been perfect, but this one here, see, I got to there, but it keeps going, and I want to do all that too. I'll probably not connect like little Kanga and Roo, but I'm going to connect all this part. So here, let's just hit backspace to kind of get, backwards to, to have that opportunity to do that. So there, now I'm at the sandy pit where Roo plays. And so we'll just kind of, anyway, you guys, any questions? What's going on for you guys? What's going on in the chat box, Nick?
No questions.
How many people are here today?
21.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome everybody. Enjoy watching me digitize. That's what I'm doing, and kind of talking my fool head off while I'm at it. I've been meaning to bring some guests in, so just so you know, one of these days I'm going to show up and have an organized guest to come and chat with me while I'm working. But I'm heading back to the road now. There you go. I got that bit added in, and I don't know. I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to jump in to do that. I'm not going to connect that to the border in any way. And so I feel like we've probably caught all the pieces that we didn't catch on the first way, and now I'm kind of all the way around the horn and right back to where I started again. Now, I only did that border one time around, and my instinct says do it twice. And do you know why? Like, Nick, do you know why I don't like to do a single ply like this? Because I'll tell you why. When you're sewing, and if you get like to let's say, right, where is that line? Oh, it comes off of oh, haha, I forgot. I split the lines. I added all these pieces in, right? But what I haven't done is, remember, they needed to go in between, was it after 3 and before 4? So they're down at the bottom here. It's these lines, and probably the easiest way to get them there is to go up to the beginning, so there they are. And then I'm just going to click and drag and go down 1, 2, 3 and let go on that, on that third one. And that now they're in sequence, right? So now they've been moved. And that way, if I watch it sew out, I was kind of getting lost. I thought I did that at the beginning. Why didn't it show up? There you go. So now we head around, we hit those pieces, and then we head back in to keep going. So back to the point of why don't I like to do a single ply? Because if you're sewing along and you get right to that spot there and the thread breaks, and now you've got to fix it. And so you rethread your needle and you back up. Well, chances are you're going to back up a little bit, further than where the thread break happened. And so there'll be this little part of your line that's 2-ply. All the rest of it'll be a single, but that one spot, and it's kind of noticeable. And whereas if you do the whole thing as a 2-ply, then when you get a break and there's a small bit that's a 3-ply, it's much less noticeable when there's mostly 2 and a little bit of 3. So to fix this up, what I want to do now is I want to add in an extra border, to go around, because I kind of made that border in little pieces the first time. And I know that it starts, it's funny because I watched it sew out and I felt like I missed the spot. Yeah, see that? I started it there, but I really meant to start it there. Can you see that? It's a small difference, but it'll be a small jump in there. So let's fix that while we're at it, right? So that's now number 4. And all I have to do there is move this kind of beginning point up to where I intended it to be, which was there. Now it connects to there. And then at the end of it, so this one here, I want to shorten it so that it kind of comes to that spot there. Okay, so there I fixed my little boo-boo. But now I know that's where to start. So I'm basically just going to click on that same tool, the run stitch tool, and click right here. And maybe zoom out a little bit. I don't know how, well, you can zoom in and get really accurate when you click, and then zoom out and move over. And then if you want to be accurate, you can zoom back in again and, kind of get your click exactly where you think it needs to be, and zoom out again and come on up to the top and then zoom in. So wherever I put my cursor is where it zooms to. So I'm going to click there, then zoom out, come on over here, zoom in again, click there, zoom out, maybe nudge a little bit and zoom in back in here again. So one last click and right click. So that added the extra piece. And because I added that at the end here, I also have to sequence that to be, I think it'll be after number 9, before number 10, right? So I can just take this piece and basically drag on to number 9 and let go. And then it goes after number 9 and before number, oh no, that's not where I want it to be. 9, 10, 11, 11. It was after 11 that I wanted it to be. Sorry, it was after that one. I could tell right away when you turn off 3D, if you have your 3D on, you might not notice those types of things. But with 3D off, if I just hit undo, it's really obvious to me that I put it in the wrong spot because I created this big dotted line. And, I could just think it through what was missing. And I realized that I thought it was, the end ended at the wrong. I thought this was the end, but it's not. It's 11 is the end. And so that's where I needed to add it, is after 11. And so therefore this is now, the new kind of 11. All right. So
Sandy says,
looking good, hey? What'd Sandy say?
After this, are you going to do another Pooh picture? Or do you have another design in mind? It was fun. Where are you going on the road? If it's close enough to me, I might be able to attend.
Aw, thanks, Sandy. All right. Listen, I'm going to hit save on this right now and maybe stop for a minute. It's kind of 1:45, and I'll come in and interact a little bit with you guys.
She's asking where you're going.
Where am I going? Good question, Sandy. My next trip is in September, and I will be at Soy Machines Plus in San Diego, California. And in October, I will be at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, visiting Fonder Sewing. And those are trips that are guaranteed, that are booked. But I have several people, stores that have reached out to me and RNK to express interest in trips in the fall and trips next winter. So I'm once I get a bit more details, I'll probably post all that and talk a little bit more about it. But thanks for asking. What am I going to do after Pooh? I've been sprinkling in little bits. I think probably next week I'll probably do some firework. I'll do another fireworks design for you guys and do it. So kind of each week I've been sprinkling stuff in. At the pace I'm going, I won't run out of Pooh for any time soon. That said, I may not always be fully focused on digitizing Pooh, so that we can do other types of designs, like some auto digitizing and, all the great things that we do. So, it won't always be 100% Pooh is what I'm saying. Yeah, we've done a few. I've had Lorraine in as a guest, and she did some pansies, and I did some spiral graphs and a spiral design. So I'll kind of keep doing the same thing as my plan. A little bit of Pooh, a little bit of something else. If you guys come and get interacting with me, then, you might be able to sort of shape the content of a little bit of the video by asking some good questions, because I always like a good question. Yeah. Candy says, hopefully you can go to a Biso Inn. I would love to go to a Biso Inn. I've been to Biso Inn several times, all 5 of them. And I say all 5 but I know that they now have 6. And so I guess there is a Biso Inn that I've never visited before. But I love going to the Biso Inn. And I understand they have a new place there in Tulsa. They're no longer in the barn or the farm. That's what it was, the farm. So Candy, I'll have to say hi to Mary and everybody at Biso Inn for me and tell them I'd love to come, and that they could reach out to me or just call RNK. But yeah. Hi, Janet. How's it going? I was on the street where you were residing Pearl Road. That's exactly where I was. Is that right? Is that where you live currently, or is that where you, Middleburg Heights? It was really great to go to Cleveland. It's wonderful to travel. It's also wonderful to be home. And so I'm always up for a trip, and I do probably 12 to 15 a year, about once a month. And if possible, I'll do 2 or 3 in January when it's super cold up here. So it never seems to work out that way. That's usually it's like December in someplace cold like Chicago or something. So I don't mind. I'm good for the cold, you guys. I'm built for it. And yeah. Suzanne says Florida in the fall. Suzanne, that is entirely possible. And I have 2 people. Where are you in, Suzanne? Are you over there in the Tops area of the world? Because I think that's where you told me you were from. Because Florida, that's a big place. That Florida, that's kind of like saying, well,
there's more people in Florida than in Saskatchewan.
Florida in the fall. What's that?
They got more people in Florida.
There are way more people in Florida than there are in Saskatchewan.
I think size-wise, isn't it bigger?
Well, I know that Florida covers a really far east-west because they have 2 time zones there. You can be Florida spread out. That's right. Is that where you are, Virginia, also down there in Florida? It's so great to see everybody today. I hope you guys are excited about the new changes on the R&K software club. So I'd say, I just want you to know, I don't get any of the credit for that. That is not, I am not looking for any. I am happy to announce it, but that said, I didn't do that work. That was on our wish list for a long, long time, and our web developer gets all the credit, for that. So that said, really just thank you to Cliff and everybody at R&K for making that happen. So I didn't do it is what I'm telling you guys. So don't say thanks to me, but I'll take the thanks and I'll pass it on to Jennifer, who is one of the people that gets the thanks. And of course, Cliff, who is our, wonderful owner and CEO at the company. So yeah. Yeah. The thing that's amazing about the R&K website is the number of videos, and they're all very short and concise. Unlike me that likes to do long form live videos and interact with people, on the R&K Software Club, the vast majority of the videos are less than 10 minutes long. They're very specific to a specific point, and the key is to get the right video, So I think the search will just be the, it's perfect now kind of thing. So you guys can give me any feedback that you have about the new search features, but I think you're going to like it. So yeah. It was right off of Engel. Is that where we're talking about Cleveland again here? I'm getting confused a little bit, but anyway, if you're in my workshop number 4, I hope you're working on a firework design. That's going to be a lot of fun. What I will do as soon as I end the live presentation, before I log out, I'll post into the chat where I'm going to be this afternoon. If you guys want to check out the SMP Hoop Fest, basically they've had presenters all day long, and I'm simply one of a series of presenters. So you can even rewind it and watch the whole day if you want, but the thing that's kind of neat about those ones is you get a lot of different industry people that come on. And so you might get the koala cabinet person on there, or one of the machine people on there. And of course, from R&K Distributing, they're having me, but they're also having Judy Fredenberg and Kathy Quinn. And so, everybody's going to have a completely different presentation than I am for that. So yeah. But I made a towel for them, and I put some nap control on it. So can you even see it from there? That's the cool thing about tone on tone is like, there's white nap control on my towel, but how close do you got to get to me before you see it? Like, I'm only this far away, right? And you can't see it. Stop me when you can see it. I can see it. Can you see it? I can see it there. I mean, if I do this, you can see it, right? There's a white on white, but when it's hanging in the bathroom, you don't see it at all. But what that does is keeps your lettering up nice on top of the white. So that is a cool software trick, that the program puts in the nap control for us. So yeah, we'll look at that this afternoon in my Hoop Fest. So yeah, anyway, it was great to see everybody. Thank you for stopping by the live today. It's always wonderful. If you come by to catch us in the replay, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll be happy to respond to everybody. But I think I'm going to wind down and say bye for now, you guys. What does Candy says stop?
They're talking about how far away your thing was.
Oh, oh, right. I told you to tell me to stop. Woohoo. Well, you guys, it's only Wednesday, but it kind of feels like Friday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for dropping by Sunset Stitches. Until next time, bye for now.